Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 260 of the PanelCast. I am your host, AJ, and as you can see, it's kind of lonely over here at my end. I'm here by myself, all by myself. Yeah, that's me right now. I'm sure my wife is laughing somewhere at me, silently giggling and judging me as always. Um, but yeah, this is me. This is how it's going to be for a bit. Um, Many of you know, if you saw the last episode and what have you, um, my best friend and partner and one of the guys that helped me keep this company up and running and going, and Richard Duran passed away 2 weeks ago. And so some of the things that we've been trying to do back here is figure out where FP is going and what we're going to do now, if we are to move forward. And so, yeah, that's been the question and the holdup in between the episodes. Sorry that ring light is so bright. It's there. Hopefully that's better. Now you see it on my glasses, and those are my eyes. I have Tron eyes. Let's try it this way. Don't mind me, people. I am just, there we go. Um. Anyway, the so we've been trying to like see where we're gonna go from here and what we're gonna do, if anything, and the general consensus with everybody that we've talked to and within the group itself, we're still going to keep going. FP doesn't want to stop. We love Richard. We honor Richard. We respect Richard. Uh, but we're going to keep going. Um, Not only in honor of Richard, but uh, you know, just for ourselves because we want to see. I don't know. I just want to keep going for myself and for my brother and for everybody else because it's what we do. It's what I've been doing my entire life. No matter what happens to me, I just keep going. I don't stop. Everybody that knows me knows I'm just a bull-headed dumbass. I just keep going no matter what, and that's what I'm just gonna do. So, but things are gonna change a little bit. I won't be having a co-host here for a while, because there is no such thing as a replacement for Richard. Richard and I just naturally had a thing going, and if you've been a fan of the podcast long enough to hear the audio days, you'll know that in those 200 episodes, I never had one solid partner. I always had somebody coming in and out, whether it was Brandy or Brandon or Brian, all these B names uh, that I'm just now noticing. And then Anthony, right? He came and changed it all up. And then Martin. And then, eventually we had Richard. Um, and Joey and Justin, sure, but they're only on the live once a month, and normally it was just Richard and I on the weeklies and on our adventures and so forth. So now without that, the show's going to still come on a weekly basis. I'm going to try, as my promise to you guys is me trying on 6 o'clock at night, which I hate that you guys can see that clock. Go away, clock. There, clock, go bye bye. Um, yeah, everything's gonna. It's just gonna be a little different for a while. I'll still try and come on here weekly, like I said, hopefully, and give you guys news and updates and reviews of what I've been doing during the week. The problem difference being is finding the motivation and things to do during the week to come up here and talk about. Uh, so that will be the challenge, and a challenge I'm going to be trying to take on. Uh, I'm an old, broken old man. I don't know if many of you know I have a couple of problems, physical problems that prevent me from being too active in life. Um, I'm in pain 24/7, nonstop. And sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days. And if I can get my good days going enough in a row, then I will use those days to bring some good content to you guys. I promise. But you'll have to forgive me because sometimes the bad days outnumber the good. I can't do anything about that. But I can get doped up enough so I can come on here and pretend that I can give you some good shit. So we're gonna try that too. 1 second. So let's talk reviews, shall we? Who saw Sinners? Who saw it? Who, if you haven't seen Sinners yet, then I'm sorry. I don't know where you've been or what rock you've been hiding under, or if you just don't like black people. But uh, Sinners came out last Thursday, and I went and saw it. And Katie and I went down there and saw Katie, who is the the witch, our mascot, and she came down with me and we went and saw it and we walked out of there thinking it was awesome. We loved every minute of it. Enjoyed the music, enjoyed the story, we enjoyed the acting, portrayals, everything. Everything about it was fantastic. The effects, everything. It was a wonderful movie. And yeah, I can't sing its praises high enough. Even uh even seeing Michael B. Jordan be twins, sometimes that doesn't play it off too well. That doesn't work too well in movies and stuff. It just doesn't seem right. Tom Hardy did a good job of it. And yeah, so sometimes it's hard to pull off. And Michael B. Jordan did a good job. The way that Ryan Coogler had filmed it and everything. Yeah, the cigarette passing scene was kind of obvious, but other than that, I thought they did a good job of having both of them on scene, him playing two characters but be the same actor and so forth. I thought they did a great job with that. The music again was phenomenal, top notch stuff. Um, it, yeah, there's a scene in the movie I don't want to talk about or give away to you guys, but I think you all know what I mean. It's if you've ever seen Good Times, Dynamite and Buffalo Butt and all that. If you grew up in the '70s like I did, there was a show called Good Times, and it was about this black family that lived in this rundown apartment complex, and it just showed their day to day lives and how they experienced things and what have you. And it was a great comedy, truly tragic on some occasions, showing the realisms that were happening during that time and how society treated them. But for the most part, it was a wonderful comedy. But always on the back wall of that show, you saw this painting, and it just showed all these people in a juke joint just getting down, grooving, just playing music and just swaying with it. And it was such a beautiful painting, the way it showed just different colors and variations and the way that they were all flowing together like they were just part of one. They were the music, and that's what this image shows. And the fact that they recreated that image in the film to where the people were the music and not just the music being played. You know what I mean? But the people themselves became part of the music. That I thought was beautiful and gorgeous, and the way that they came across was just phenomenal. Um, I wanted to go back and see it again for that, and it to a point where the vampires were kind of like, "Ew," for a second, and then you remember, "Oh yeah, huh?" So, in my opinion, it is Color Purple meets Dusk Till Dawn. Um, that's the best way I can describe it. And if you haven't seen it yet, I would go check it out. Uh, and do yourself a favor, okay? When Ryan Coogler, the director of the film, who has made Wakanda, the Black Panther films, pretty much anything that Michael B. Jordan has ever been in, he's done Fruitvale Station, stuff like that. Um, when Ryan Coogler calls up, um, I've just brain farted, Christopher Nolan and says, can you show me how to use the IMAX camera for my movie? And then Michael B. Jordan's like, oh, yeah, can you show me how to use the IMAX camera for the film? And both of them want to learn from Christopher Nolan, who at this point is the master of IMAX, in my opinion. I mean, hello, Tenet, hello, the other movie, Inception, Inception. Um, yeah. So when they call Christopher Nolan and say, "Show me how to use the IMAX camera so that I can film this movie in all the beauty and requirement that IMAX will allow," then I feel it's the audience's responsibility to go see the film in IMAX in order to truly appreciate the true beauty behind the film and the cinematography that's within the film. And it's worth it, in my opinion. I failed at it because we don't have an IMAX nearby. But I did see it on the giant screen that we have here local to town, and it was gorgeous there. And I can't wait to go see it on the IMAX. I plan to go see it before it's out of the theater. So there you go. Our new rating system, which I'll have, you'll probably see right here. This film gets 5 Little Richards. That's right. 1 out of 5, 5 being the best. This film gets 5 Little Richards for being the top film. Awesome film of the year. 5 Little Richards. Congratulations for our first official rating. That's what we're doing from now on. This is how we're going to show our love and remembrance for Richard Duran, is by allowing his company logo to be our rating system. So, one Little Richard with a middle finger, uh, being that this movie sucked and what Richard would have probably thought about this film, and 5 Little Richards with 2 middle fingers going up, going "Fuck yeah," that means Richard would have loved it, and we did too. So that's our new rating system. So we hope you guys enjoy that. Um, Yeah, I'm just sitting here rambling for a minute because I'm currently transferring some games and stuff over on my PS5 to my external so that I can play The Last of Us Part 2. Um, I did not get to play it when the game initially came out, but now that it's remastered and out on the 5, I want to play it before I dive into the new TV show, which came out this week as well. The first 3 episodes popped up. And the game's been out long enough that I'm not gonna be spoiled on anything I hear from the TV show and the series, but I know that a lot of people didn't play the game, and so they won't know what's going on in the TV show, so I'm not gonna spoil it here for you. But I don't wanna watch the show before I play the game, because I feel that watching the show will make me not wanna play the game anymore. You get that little burnout of being in that environment sometimes too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to play the game in between now and when the season ends, and then hopefully I can binge watch it afterwards, and we'll go from there. I traditionally recommend that you always, if it's something adapted from, let's say, a book or a comic, do yourself a favor, watch the film first, and then read the book. Because if you don't, you'll spend the entire film nitpicking the things that they left out. And you don't want to do that. It's not anybody's fault except for the studio as to why those things were left out of the movie. But instead, you'll go and you'll watch that movie and you'll blame the director or the writer or the actors, like, whatever, for not getting the character or the story or this point or anything when it's not their fault. Instead, go watch the movie, enjoy the movie for what it is, and then read the book and understand, fill in those missing holes and those gaps that you saw in the movie, and then you get a deeper understanding of the whole story in general. That is my viewpoint and my opinion on how to do things like that. And that, since I've realized that, Thank you, Stephen King. I've I've been able to enjoy the adaptations a little bit better. And, um, I mean, Richard called me on it one time. Like, I didn't even realize because to me, Shawshank Redemption is the best Stephen King or any book adaptation I've ever seen because they got it verbatim, in my opinion. And then Richard pointed out that red was white in the book, and I didn't believe him because I always saw him as Morgan Freeman. Even though I read the book beforehand, after seeing him in the movie, he was just a natural fit as the character. That's all I saw of him when I reread the book many, many times. And lo and behold, he was right, and red was white in the book because he was Irish, and it threw me. But I was still like, that's a cool little reminder fact. But also in the fact that no translation is perfect, you know. And so you got to be able to appreciate what you see on film and what you read in the book as not only two separate entities, but a way to merge as one instead of them trying to be against one another. Hugh Jackman is 6'1", 6'2". Wolverine is 5'3". All right, in the comics, in the books, everything is 5'3". He comes up to here to every woman he's ever been with, except for Mariko. Okay, so to see him being taller than everybody on screen, and for him to like awkwardly have to crouch down to fight like a Wolverine, like he did in the Deadpool movie, Wolverine versus Deadpool, it just looked awkward for him to be that low. Was unnatural, you know. But you get used to it because you don't realize. Because Hugh Jackman is such a badass Wolverine that you don't give a shit at the end of the day, you know, and you accept it as part of it because nothing is ever verbatim for anywhere else. So, point I'm trying to get to was nothing, you know. Watch the movie before reading the book, but I'm gonna play this video game before I watch the show. So there. My throat is dry. Forgive me. I'm not used to doing this alone and talking for so long. I look like a turtle. The next thing I wanted to review was a video game. If you've been following me on the Twitch, um, we call everything the beforehand because we're old. I've been on the Twitch streaming my gaming experience with Dead Space. Again, playing the remastered version here on the PS5. I didn't get to play it when it originally came out, but I did see everything about it and how it was a scary game and it looked really cool and it had that awesome Nine Inch Nails music soundtrack going to it and all that stuff. And so I respected it, but I just never got around to playing it. So when it came out for the four, yeah, when it came out for the four, I was excited and looked forward to playing it. But when it got mastered for the five, I said, okay, I got to play it now. There's no point in me putting it off any longer. So I did, and I streamed it on the Twitch. And yeah, that game was awesome. It was so fun, like running around. It felt like I was playing uh, the Alien game, Alien Isolation. That's what I felt like I was playing. The lighting effects, the graphics, everything was just spot on. Um, yeah, I don't know any other way to describe the gameplay. It was very creepy. You start off you hear about the ship being under attack and in trouble, and you roll up to go help it and find out that some thing has taken over and infected the crew members, and there's just another monster on the ship, like a Cthulhu type monster on the ship, and all this craziness going on. You have to go and try and save the ship, the crew members, solve the mystery, and try to escape off the ship all at the same time. Um, while all this Event Horizon style crap is going on. Well, that's the graphics of it. Is like if Ben Horizon meets HR Geiger. Um, so yeah, it was the game was awesome. I played it on story mode because I didn't want to uh, get discouraged by get my ass kicked by the same person every single 5 seconds. So I like to go through and easily kill monsters so I can enjoy the story and the puzzle solving and all that stuff more. And yeah, it was pretty much the exact same plot of Alien Romulus and Isolation. So it was very familiar. But I like the weapons that they had. I liked the gameplay, the mechanics. The over the shoulder camera viewpoint got annoying every now and then, but you got kind of used to it. And yeah, everything else was just really awesome. I enjoyed playing it, and I'm kind of glad I waited so I didn't get any of the choppy graphics and stuff from back in the day. I got the nice, crisp, clear 4K graphics of playing it on my five, and so yeah, it was a great time. Um, so yeah, yeah, there you go. Nothing more exciting. This week we will be broadcasting on Thursday. Um, the guys and I are going to be reviewing the Bondsman. It was a Kevin Bacon TV series that came out on Prime recently that we all enjoyed or we all watched. We want to talk about. And we got a couple other things that we will be reviewing as well. So check us out there. As I said, I'm on Twitch under Forbidden Panel. You can come check me out there. I'll be gaming soon. I'll be running through the Silent Hill Part 2 playthrough, so you guys can come and watch me and maybe enjoy that if you haven't played through it or seen it yet. I'll be playing game after game for a while, just to keep me occupied. Again, I'm not looking for sympathy or sadness or anything else. It's just fact. I am married. My wife and I spend a lot of time together, but I spent a lot of time with Richard as well. Like half my time, going back and either or. And so, now that he's not around anymore, I have a lot more time on my hand and I don't know what to do with it other than to talk to his kids or remind them that he's not around with us anymore. Yeah. Uh, and so I'll be gaming a little bit more. So you can catch me on Twitch watching and doing that stuff. And hopefully soon uh, I can do more columns based on that. Joel and I are continuing with our unboxing series, which you can find on the side panel. We're putting out some new episodes coming soon. We have a lot of new stuff we want to unbox. Um, I'm also going to be starting to run some auctions and showing off some figures from Richard's collection as we try to get a lot of his inventory from the store sold off to help support his family. We're going to be doing a lot of different random shows showing up. Again, just selling his inventory off to help the family off with pay bills and make sure they can make ends meet. Um, in his passing and all that, he's gone. Him being the primary breadwinner from the family and stuff. So we're just trying to help supplement that income, and just want to help them out. They're my family now, so yeah, I got to take care of my family. So if you can, you see us anywhere, please come on out, show us some love. If not, find the GoFundMe in the meantime, and maybe help out that way if you can. When you think about it, it'll be ongoing. Um, I'm gonna try and make it out to the May 4th trivia night out in the high desert for the Sour Like Digest hosted event, and I will be at the SoCal Joe show on Sunday, May 4th, and we'll have a booth there selling off some of Richard's inventory. A lot of cool Joe figures and toys and vehicles and whatnot we'll have there at the booth at more than reasonable prices. So come on out and check us out there. And we'll be at Free Comic Book Day, May 3rd, the day before. And we'll have a booth out there with again some of his inventory and stuff, toys and whatnot to sell, and some free stuff to give out for the kids too. So um, yeah, it's gonna be busy for us, and yeah, um, Richard's fault, you bastard. That's why we're giving you little Richards everywhere we go. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll catch you up soon. Make sure you tune in Thursday, 8:15 p.m. I know it's a random time, but the other guys, they don't get off work till like 6:30 at night. Traffic in California is horrible. I gotta wait till they get home. Sorry, 8:15 Thursday night. We'll be here live broadcasting. Until then, thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one as soon as I find an outro video to play for you. It's gonna get really loud right now. Okay, bye.